Hello, and welcome to your daily oracle reading for Sunday, November 8th, 2020. I'm Linda the Lightworker. I make these daily videos so we can all stay on our purpose-driven path, staying as focused and as positively as we can, especially during this time of so much chaos and uncertainty. So if this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. Also, to my regulars, I should have uploaded by now, and I'm pretty sure it has, one of my Soul Sister Sunday conversations with Anaya Clock, and she's an incredible medicine woman and has her own website, clockwise.com, and I really hope you check out that video. Link should be in the descriptions. Fingers crossed I got all those things right. All right, let's jump into our cards. Today I am working with the Gregory Scott Tarot deck. As my regulars know, this is just one of my standard favorite all-time great go-tos. And I'm not going to do any more talk about election, that sort of thing. Let's jump into the cards. Our first card here is the Seven of Wands. And forgive me while I work with my lighting just a little bit to get this a little bit better. So here we have this woman who has climbed this mountain, come upon this great achievement. Like, can you believe she has come this far? And she's at a plateau. So this is a card about achievement, celebrating where you are, really recognizing all the steps that it took for you to get here. Listen, it hasn't been easy out there, and it's been a real challenge with so many things that are out of our control. So the invitation here with the Seven of Wands is to, who is that guy? Was it the journey of 1,000 feet starts with one step, or 1,000 miles. Oh my gosh, I'm butchering that. You'd think Mercury was still in retrograde. But it really is about recognizing that no matter how big of a task is ahead of you, it's taking that one step at a time and recognizing that when we just focus on our little feet just moving forward a step at a time, and then allowing for reflection. And yeah, she's looking towards the future and she's thinking, wow, how did I get here? But look at the plateau. Like, she should celebrate how far she's come, and there may be some more roads ahead, but stop and celebrate. Take a rest. Oh my gosh, all these cards really are reflective of the reading I did with my soul sister. All right, our second card today is the Four of Swords. Now, the Suit of Swords is all about the air signs and in the ethers, and we can see this deadly sword swinging back and forth. But as you recognize down here by his hands, which are bound, he's still, I don't know if you can see it, he has like one hand right on the handle of his sword. So I don't know if he's able to break free from this, but what I'm hearing, this is about a threat. This is feeling the anxiety of what's been going on. You know, in the United States, there's still some uncertainty. Things have not calmed down. There's still that threat. Yeah, threat of more trauma. Now, here's the thing to remember is that the body responds to these threats, actual or imagined, in the same way. So that means even if there's no pending threat, maybe you personally are doing okay at your home and you're feeling fine, but you have gone wild with scenarios, fearful. What do I call those? I usually call those negative fantasies, right? The traumatic fantasies that get started, like those dark, fearful, oh my God, they were supposed to be somewhere, they didn't call. What happened? Did they get in a car accident when maybe they just stopped and had a cup of coffee and were having a chat on a phone call with somebody else. Like, we don't know. Those perceived threats or worries or woes are as deadly as the actual threat. So the invitation here is to keep yourself check where you are with your thoughts, with your fears, with your anxiety, with the trauma. Ask yourself, is this a current reality or is this something in the past? Typically, I don't really talk about where the cards lay, but it is about the like the present moment. The middle card is usually about the present moment. And so when I see this, it's about really looking at, are you letting your fears run wild? I'm just checking in with Spirit. Spirit's like, they got that. Move on. All right, we don't want to talk about that anymore. Spirit's like, move on. You know what that feels like, when we can get caught up in our anxiety in our head. And that's the invitation, to pay attention to that. Because our third and final tarot card today is this Two of Pentacles. Now look at where his foot is in dab center of that figure eight. That figure eight being that infinity circle of the flow and of the cycles of life. This is a balancing act. So pay attention. Notice how far you've come. Acknowledge you might be having some fears and anxiety, and return to your balance. Remember that things move in cycles, and I'm hearing news cycles, I'm hearing political cycles. Like, these things are secular. Nothing's going to be known or understood until it all finds its equilibrium, which is right in the center. He has his foot firmly balanced, so he's able to juggle his money. I know, so for some of you, it is about juggling the money because there isn't as much money coming in these days because businesses have been shut down. It's finding your equilibrium, finding your balance in the dance of life, which is where we are right now. This dramatic dancing of life, the dancing of ideas. All right, our final card today comes from, I'm going to show you this. So I'm working with my medicine deck. This is my old book. I have had this deck. This is the oldest deck I have, this and the Mother Peace deck. But here, this is by Jamie Sands. And Jamie Sands and Dave Cameron. And anyway, all the information is down below in the dibbly-doo box. But I think that's what the box looked like. When I found this card, I was like, oh, I'll have to show that for what it is. All right, here we have the beautiful number 9, which is the butterfly card. So the number 9 is really coming up, and I'm hearing like an end of a cycle, or, reaching the end of a cycle as pertain to this. So please check out my Soul Sister chat today, because we do talk quite a bit about that soul circle, about the cycles changing. But here's the invitation. On a personal level, when we see the butterfly has 4 stages. So first, it's an egg, which is the new beginnings. The second is the larva, which is when it's in the creation mode, right? It creates its 3rd stage, which is the cocooning stage or the integration stage. And then the 4th stage is that chrysalis or the emerging stage. So the invitation for you is to say, hey, where am I? Where am I in this cycle of my life as you're finding your balance, or perhaps dealing with your anxiety and looking at some new techniques? Maybe you're a newbie at working on calming your anxieties, doing some self-soothing or some positive self-talk, something you're not good at. Maybe you're just learning about it. Then you're in the beginning stages. You're in the egg stage. So just look at what's important to you these days, where your attention is lying, and ask yourself, Am I in the beginning? Is this a time of creating? Is this about going within and integrating all of this new energy of who you are? Or is today the day you take another step on this big journey where you have arrived and just headed on to this next part of your path? So that's the invitation today. Look at where you are. Pay attention to what is causing you some fear. What's troubling you? Like, take a look at that and find your balance, because at some point you will be emerging. I love that, butterflies emerging. Now that's one of my soul sisters I'm hoping to have on soon. Her company or her coaching is called Butterfly Emerging. So I'm going to connect with her and see if I can get her ready for next week. All right, my dear, that's our reading for today. If you're one of my new subscribers, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support. Please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube-y stuff. And really do your best to stay centered. Finding your balance often means coming into realignment with being in the present moment. Doing focused breathing, doing your meditation, drinking water, eating the best food possible, saying nice things to yourself, and feeling whole before we start adding other people into our world. All right, my dear. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.